On the show tonight, a two-time Oscar-winning actor, star of so many brilliant films, including my favourite ever comedy, Big. Oh, I wish I was big. I wish I was big. I wish I was big. I wish I was... Ow! Ow! Hello! Hiya! Let's start the show! Ladies and gentlemen, what a great show we've got for you tonight. Acting legend, two times Oscar winner, Tom Hanks is here. Yes, he is. British comic turned Hollywood star Simon Pegg is here. Yes. And American X Factor beauty Nicole Scherzinger is here. Yes. And, of course, Nicole is one of the judges on the new series of American X Factor. Well, she was when we recorded this show. By now, she could be fired, rehired, entered as a contestant. We really don't know. We don't know. We do know she's going out with Formula One driver Lewis Hamilton, though, don't we? Yes. Oh, there's Lewis, a man whose sole purpose in life is to come first. Yeah. And really quickly. Simon Pegg is here. Simon, of course, recently starred as Scotty in the new Star Trek movie. That's where the crew of the Enterprise travel where no man has gone before. It's life, but not as we know it. And, so looking forward to meeting Tom Hanks. Been in so many amazing films, like Castaway. He played a man stranded on a desert island. Oh, there he is, just collecting a few bits of wood, putting the finishing touches to his shelter. He's good, I'll give him that, he is. In the film, Tom makes a friend for himself out of a volleyball. Now, it's not very lifelike, is it? I mean, who has hair like that and an empty head? Huh? But of course, Tom also starred in the epic World War II movie, Saving Private Ryan. A Private Ryan. Not anymore! Let's get some guests on! What's new, pussycat? I'll find out from Nicole Scherzinger! Whoa! Let me greet you! Wow! You look amazing!
Thank you, Mother.
Oh, beautiful! Woo! Sit yourself down. It's Shaun of the Dead Bunny, Simon Pegg! Hey! Hello, sir. How are you doing? Really lovely to see you. Oh, Simon. And you certainly have no problem with this guest. It is Mr. Tom Hanks! That is a cool couch. That is a very cool couch.
Well, in honor of Nicole, we're all going to sit up here on the edge of it with our legs crossed.
I'll keep an eye.
Yeah.
At the moment, nothing. I can see nothing. It's all good. It's all good. You're being very gentlemanly.
Indeed. I'm an American.
And you've just come for your premiere.
Yes, at the Westfield Shopping Center.
The glamour.
Have you been to the play? The biggest shopping center I've ever seen. Not only did we see the movie, but I popped into Boots.
Now, listen, it's lovely you're all here. Tom, Simon, but before we do another thing, got to ask you, Nicole, as of now...
I'm shaking what?
What's going on? What is happening in World of X Factor?
I haven't said this, but I believe it's been made official that I'm actually a judge on the U.S.
Do they keep you in the loop, or are you kind of finding out along the rest of us?
I'm kind of finding out along the rest of us as well. I mean, it's kind of crazy when you get a phone call and you read it in the paper first, but you know, I was the host of the US X Factor, and now I'm having this amazing opportunity to be the judge now.
Yeah.
If you eat a bad salad from Germany, you'll be the most famous person in the world.
I'm Steve with Ryan Giggs.
Yes.
Now, listen, Tom Hanks, sir. You seem to be spending a lot of time here. Do you kind of live here now?
I've been here enough, working with Band of Brothers, you know, which featured Mr. Simon Pegg, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
So I got enough haunts to go. I know where to avoid the fist fights, and where to go have some fist fights.
Well, but we saw you. You went to the dinner with the Queen and
I
the
was with the Queen and the President just last week, yes. For an American, I kept trying to figure out why am I here? How did this? Did I win a ticket? Is this Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Excuse me, lady, do you run this place? There we are. We were off, and there's my white tie and tails.
You look very smart.
That is not a rental, by the way. They had a powder blue one. I said, let me go with the traditional black. But then we got there, and it turned out it's a very surprisingly informal. They get it, you know. Everybody who works there just kind of smiles and points you in the direction. And everybody says, hello, I'm Julie, I'm Simon. Hello, nice to see you. What do you do? Well, I'm the Duchess of Westmoreland. And what do you do? Well, I run British Intelligence. How are you? And everybody's, it's kind of like on a first-name basis.
Did you meet her?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, indeed.
And chitty-chat, or...?
I talked about doing Shakespeare when I was, that was how I got my start in the United States, doing Shakespeare. And we compared notes on that. She did say this, we love to go to the theater. I'm not going to do an imitation of the Queen. So if I fall into that, you cut it. You cut it. You take it out of the show. And she said, we love going to the theater. And my sister, we love to go to the theater. And my sister could go to the theater and hear a song once and then come home. And I said, play it on the piano? And she said, yes. My moment with Her Majesty, who used to call Her Majesty first, and then you call ma'am.
But now, weirdly, there's been a lot of that, because you've met the Queen, Simon, haven't you?
I did. I met her recently, yeah. I met her at the Narnia premiere, and she... I thought I broke her, to be honest. I thought... the Queen has never had to worry about the awkwardness of starting a conversation. She's never had an embarrassing pause, because she always must speak first. So she takes as much time as she wants to do that. So she came up to me... I was standing next to young Joe McElderry, the X Factor winner. Aww. And she said, and you're a musician? To him. Well, someone whispered that he was in her ear. And then she came up to me and she went... And I was just waiting for her to speak, and I swear it was like 30 seconds, and I started to bead sweat. And then she just went, and what do you do? Like that, and I almost hugged her, because I thought, thank God, you're still with us. And then... but then the brilliant one was Philip came by, and because I played a mouse in Narnia, did the voice of a mouse, and someone told him what I was doing, and he said, when did you realise you had the voice of a mouse? I suddenly thought, you think I was cast because I have a naturally mousy voice. He thought I have some sort of disability that has given me an acting career. But I made her cry. I have it on good authority that at the end of Narnia there's a very sweet moment with Reepicheep the mouse. He does this very moving thing, and the Queen was, I swear to God, sitting maybe 5 seats down from me wearing 3D glasses, which is a sight to behold, to see the monarch in 3D glasses. And they weren't even gold on a stick, they were just plastic... Buddy Holly-style 3D glasses, and she dabbed her eye with a tissue.
You actually thought the Queen was going to have gold 3D glasses? Dude, it is so lifelike. I don't think that's going to happen.
And Nicole, you haven't met the Queen, but you did. You and the Pussycat Dolls performed for Prince Philip and Camilla.
You were shocked by that
Prince
picture.
Charles. Yeah. I say
Prince Charles.
And Camilla.
Yes.
What song did you choose to perform in front?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think we performed I Hate This Part.
No.
Really?
We did?
No. You got up in front of Prince Charles and Camilla and sang Don't You Wish Your Girlfriend Was Caught Like Me.
Wow, we got a lot of balls.
We were backstage laughing so much.
It's an empowering song. Very empowering.
Back into the United Kingdom. Yeah.
We were just giving that day.
But now, Tom Hanks, sir, you've got a new movie out that you just went to the premiere of.
Yes, indeed.
Which I know is very close to your heart. But before we do, we just have to spend a few minutes, because you're here and you haven't been on the show, just to marvel at your career.
For sure.
It is an amazing... No. You know, most successful actors, their box office is kind of, in millions. Over $8 billion your movies have
Really? That's news to me. Hey. All right, then. All right. Then why did I have to pay for this suit?
But it's like that's like a country.
That's extraordinary.
That's like a successful country.
I could secede.
Yeah. You could be king of somewhere.
Then I could ask you to come and sing My Girlfriend is Hot Like You. What's your wish?
The Sleeps in Seattle, Philadelphia, Forrest Gump, Apollo 13, all the 3 Toy Stories,
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's been
And
fun.
when you look back, is there one that you kind of like, you think, that's the one I'm really happy I said yes to?
Well, there's some... I got to tell you, when we did Apollo 13, it was the first time I was only with 2 other guys for, like, most of the movie. And I have to tell you, you might have noticed this on some, Band of Brothers. When 3 guys are making the movie, the jokes become so filthy as of lunchtime of the first day of shoot. And I got to tell you, Kevin Bacon and Bill Paxton, who were in the capsule with me, know the foulest joke. And we were trying to, like, out-foul and out-gross each other, And that's how we spent most of our trip to the moon, saying, all right, a guy is hunting and a bear comes into his tent. And then you just go from there. You're in big trouble.
And in your first kind of big movie, Splash, I mean, that must have been a really horrible job, all the underwater scenes.
Well, that was... It was kind of... There was no way... Everybody said, how did you shoot those underwater scenes? Well, we jumped in the water. We down and held our breath, and then we shot it. It's amazing how they did that. No special effects. But we had to learn how to scuba dive, and because I'm in clothes, there was always an air tank, somewhere up there, because we're in about 30 feet of water. But they had this underwater phone booth that was weighted down with a dome on the bottom of the ocean down in the Bahamas, and the dome was filled with water. So if Ron Howard, the director, had to give us an instruction, he would swim over there, and I would get towed by a safety diver, because I couldn't swim because I had iron weights in my pants to keep me down.
Okay.
So he would tow me over there and stick my head up, in this dome of water, which was about that big, and then I'd wait, and then Ron's head would come up with a regulator in his mouth, and all right, that's good. That's good. If you could just have more wonder. I need to have the eyes open a little bit more, and don't look like you're out of breath. All right? All right. And then that's literally a director. And then I would get towed back to wherever we're shooting. I would try to remember what he said, but essentially that is actually an exercise in not dying.
Yeah.
And then when we did not get killed, that's what they put in.
It went well.
It went good enough, yeah.
Nicole, if you were to pick a Tom Hanks film, what would you pick?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of in love with Big.
Oh, all right.
I always wanted to do the dun,
Careful.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, sorry.
Whoa!
I have shortsies on underneath. I'm a lady.
Camera 5 went red real quick.
That's what I was trying to do, guys.
What?
Oh, the jump.
Yeah,
Oh,
that one.
the piano day.
Oh, yes, yes.
Me and
That
Bob
one.
Lozier, yeah.
Don't do that. One of my favorites was Philadelphia, and luckily I'm sober now. I can tell you that. I met Denzel Washington when I was drunk, and I started to cry telling him how much. And he just looked really embarrassed. As was I. Anyway, what's interesting now is that you've written and directed this new movie, Larry Crown, which I've seen. It's a really lovely film. It's funny, it's sweet, it's...
a little...
Yeah.
There you go.
And then it's not you and Julia Roberts.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad at all. Yeah.
We were... here's sort of like tagline. Larry Crown loses his job and goes back to college. Julia Roberts is one of his professors. And guess what happened? You figure it out, maybe just a little bit.
Yeah, and you wrote it and directed
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Okay.
myself and yeah. It was an interesting phone call. Hey, Julia, listen. Believe it or not, this is a business call.
And listen, we've got a clip of you and Julia in action.
It's Larry Crown.
Right, hi.
I have you for Speech 217 in just a couple of minutes.
Yes, you do.
I saw you singing.
Oh, I'm just drowning out the GPS.
Please enter
See?
your
It never
destination.
stops.
Well, no wonder. That's a map genie. Back when I sold you such things, I would have steered you toward a vortex, because the map genie has... It's very complicated.
Well, no wonder the auto on feature is engaged. So, menu, select, features, auto, voice select, change, yes. On, off. Off, change, yes, save, and back, and exit. How long was that broken?
Ever since my husband installed it himself.
Oh, it's all fixed now.
Thank you.
What are you gonna make us do today in class,
You'll just have to find out.
Follow me.
Interesting.
I predict every man in the UK will want to start wearing one of those helmets. Because if you can land Julia Roberts wearing a helmet as stupid as that, you must be one charming, charming.
That's so big.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Because I noticed even in the poster, you're not wearing the
No,
helmet.
no. We've run into problems with some, hey, where's the safety helmet there on the scooter? He says, oh, come on, I'm trying to be like Steve McQueen.
And obviously, in the last film you directed, That Thing You Do, it was a cast of, mostly unknown actors.
Yeah, about a band in 1964, yeah.
This time, Julia Roberts, can you direct someone like Julia Roberts, or is it collaborative?
Well, it's very collaborative, because Julia is incredibly smart and forceful. Meaning that when we were starting to talk about it, she said, okay, I read it. Here's some things, and she talked, and and I said, I agree, let's go to it. But you don't want to waste anybody's time, but specifically, you don't want to waste Julia's. Not someone who's going to, suffer fools, nor should she. So we were all on our toes the days that she worked, and I specifically want to make sure that everything we did together was going to be fun, and it was better than it would have been, if she had just did it as it was originally written. Because you know what always happens when guys write screenplays? The girls, the women in their lives all say, this is what they say. They say things like, when are you coming home? Don't worry, honey. You can do it if you try hard enough. I'm worried about Bobby. That's all they really get to say. So I wanted to make sure I had a forceful woman who was really going through something.
And listen, it's out on July the 1st.
July the 1st. Right around the corner, almost.
Yes, and in theatres everywhere, I'm guessing. And talking about working with people you admire, Simon Pegg, in Paul, you got Sigourney Weaver on board. And you are a genuine Sigourney Weaver fan.
I was, yeah. In fact, I used to do a bit of stand-up and had a routine about Sigourney, and it's very odd to be, as much as it is to be sitting next to you now, about your film.
She's
awesome. I mean, she's so. It's still an incredible beauty, and Nick Frost and I were just sort of like, when she came on set, it was like the Queen coming on set.
How did you get her?
We just sent her the script, and she liked it. And she was our dream casting. Well, why not? Let's just send it to her and see what she says. And we got 2 weeks later, yeah, she's going to do it. So she came on set, and Nick and I were like, hi, how you going? Hi. And she was sat on her own on set in the evening, and Nick and I sort of went over and, do you want to come over and hang out with us? We're sitting over here. But, she was so lovely. And
then you've written a poem about her.
I did write a poem about her. In my stand-up, I wrote a poem about her, but...
what words rhyme with Sigourney?
Horny, of course. I know what you make me think of. My penis.
And talking about Paul, we must mention it further, because it is now available in Blu-ray, DVD, and digital copy.
Yes.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
It's in shops 13th of June.
Yes, comes out on 13th of June.
13th.
It seems so quick. And it came out in February, and it's so quick nowadays, isn't it? The turnaround to DVD is so fast. It used to be like 5 years or something, and now it's 3 months.
Is it 6 months?
Yeah.
Getting shorter and shorter.
Yeah, well, growing up in Ireland, it'd be so long before it even got to the cinema. people were dead who were going to see their films.
You thought the soundtrack to every movie was this.
This is it's you, Nick Frost, and an alien.
Yes.
On a road trip across America.
Yes, Seth
Have I left
Rogen.
anything out?
No, that's what it is. With Seth Rogen as the...
It's a really funny movie. It's a very, very funny movie. Here's a clip to remind ourselves.
What's the matter, Clive? There is an alien in the kitchenette making bagels and coffee. Did you want tea? No, I don't want tea. Right, because tea is weird in America, right? They leave the bag in. What's weird, Graham, is the fact that we have picked up an extraterrestrial hitchhiker and you seem completely fine with it.
Bagels and coffee.
Who? Armand. Well, he said his life is in danger. He needs our help, you know? I mean, sometimes you've just got to roll the dice. What if we wake up and find him inserting a probe into our anus? Apparently they don't do that.
Anyone want one of these? Anyone? Anyone?
Yeah, oh no, that was a green screen.
But you really did do a road trip, you and Nick.
Yeah, we did. We drove from LA down to Vegas, then across through Nevada, Utah, Wyoming. Realised just how huge that place is. I mean, it's just such a massive country. You don't know until you get out just how vast it is. And we nearly died a couple of times. We met some hicks. A lot of it went into the script. There's a couple of guys we meet in the film played by Dave Kettner and Jesse Plemons in the Little Alien, which is the little diner on the edge of Area 51. And Nick and I arrived there, and it's full of, like, UFO paraphernalia, and we were like, oh, this is great, and we're the only guys there, and we were putting on alien masks and talking about spaceships and stuff. And then these two guys came in, like, hunting suits with rifles on their backs, and we just went... And everything went really quiet, and we just sort of left really frightened, and we thought, what if they catch up with us and it's going to be like Deliverance? They're going to, you know, do things to us.
You got to get to America a little more often.
It's the first time since Deliverance.
No,
I don't.
And Nicole, you kind of grew up in the middle of nowhere, didn't you?
I was born in Hawaii, and then I grew up in Louisville, Kentucky.
Is that the middle of nowhere?
Yeah,
it sounds
kind of.
like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Midwest South.
Were your parents insane? That they would leave Hawaii for Louisville, Kentucky, and not
know.
vice versa? I'm making a joke. I don't
I
mean to
know.
offend your parents.
I love it. No, I love it in both places because
Okay,
it's still
all right.
really like homey and just grounded, and I'm real close to my family.
But did you have, like, jobs and things growing up? Like, you seem too pretty to be there. Do you know what I mean? You were kind of like, no, she's not one of us. We're sending her to L.A.
Oh, it was a little awkward in Kentucky. I didn't have many people that looked like me, and I did have one.
Indeed, anywhere.
I had one really fun job. I worked at the Kentucky Kingdom Amusement Park, and I was a part of the entertainment department. And when you're a part of the entertainment department, everyone has to take turns playing King Louie, Kentucky Kingdom's mascot, which is a big, ginormous king lion. So I played King Louie.
So they put you in a full lion suit?
Yeah. I have to get a picture of it. It's really funny because, like, you had to take turns. Some guys were, like, 6'3", and then I was, like, really short, and so mine had, like, my King Louie had, like, a lot of cankles, like ankle rolls. And you'd have to do, like, a full-on performance. So you'd have to be King Louie, this huge lion with this crown, and you'd have to perform, and it was really hot, and you're, like, inside, and you're, like...
But it must have stank in there.
It was disgusting. It was really rank, I'm not gonna lie. And there was a thing that just came out at that time called Febreze. You know?
Oh, Febreze is amazing.
No, it does not work. It's disgusting.
How long would you have to be in this suit at a time?
Oh, gosh, a couple hours at a time.
Would the suit dry out before you had to get back in it?
It wouldn't. That's why you just keep squirting the Febreze on there.
What was the name of this? King Louie?
King Louie the Lion at Kentucky Kingdom.
They're probably still using the same suit.
They probably are.
Probably just walks around on its own now. Like, just infused with the DNA of...
The bacteria is taking over. It has a life of its own. Yeah.
Now, back to science fiction, because you've been in fantasy, and obviously you're in Apollo 13, but you've never been in a kind of science fiction film, per se.
No, not per se, no. Not something with ray guns or... I mean, when my entire family went and worshipped at the feet of Star Trek, all I could say, Those guys are having so much fun. Look at those phasers, man. Oh, geez, they get to go on the... Oh, he gets to sit in that chair. He gets to sit in the Cobb. He gets to run the Enterprise. Oh, man. How come I can't do that? I never get to. What a jip.
We're doing more, you know. Come, you know.
Well, I'm going to... When the Romulans make friends, when they have the, let me play a peaceful Romulan, man. I think that'd be fun.
Because you are a genuine big science fiction fan, aren't you, Simon? So, when you got the call for Star Trek, you were genuinely excited. We've got a picture that you took of yourself trying
Oh, you can see that, the phone hands there, like that. It's like taking my own...
Do you like Star Trek?
Yeah.
Do you?
You don't have to say that.
I like the ears dudes and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, ear dude suggests not a huge fan. Even I can stretch to Spock.
The ear dude.
Ear dude.
You were doing so well.
The ear dude in the rocket ship and the Martians, you really dig that stuff. Yeah.
But no, you love Star Trek.
I grew up watching it. It was on every night at 6 o'clock. And we'd have competitions to see. I'd be on the phone with my buddy at his house, and we'd be both have it on Channel 2, and it was on at 6 o'clock. We'd have a competition to see who could scream out the episode the soonest.
Yeah. Well, now, listen, we alerted each of you to the fact that you are both Star Trek fans. And I believe you've both prepared some Trekkie trivia questions. So, Nicole,
correct.
if you want to pop the kettle on, I'll be tidying my desk. Simon, have you got your questions?
I have.
Tom?
Oh, I left. I'm sorry. I left them in my dressing room.
Very good. Oscar winning. If only there was some way to transport you there quickly.
Hey, wait a minute. The guy who plays Scotty might know how to get my body broken down into molecules, transported to the dressing room and back, and I could get the questions that way, perhaps.
I have some experience of matter transfer. In fact, I've taken the liberty of bringing with me my own personal transporter.
Oh,
Wow.
So let's just energize.
Nicole Scherzinger, excellent work. Okay. Nicole, gather yourself and prepare to be amazed once more as we bring Tom back. You're very good.
Going to lock onto his coordinates and energize. Got it. That's close.
That was amazing.
It sort of diminishes the film, doesn't it?
I don't know. You English talk shows are way advanced.
They can't even do that on Leno.
No.
All right. So we've got the questions. So, Tom, do you want to start? You do one question.
One to him.
And one back.
All
And
right.
we'll have a little...
I don't think I am. I don't know.
Nicole, if they don't know the answers, I'll
Yes.
throw to you.
Sure, no one-
Okay?
Don't ask me anything.
Question number one.
Okay.
What did Captain Kirk call Mr. Spock in the Spores infection episode that forced him to blow his top and put his fist through the Enterprise console as he was trying to beat his captain to a pulp?
Oh, was it something like it's something half-breed, right? Is it
So close.
worthless half-breed?
That was the first part. Then he called him Jojo the dog-faced boy.
No.
You remember that? I'll be in a cage right next to Jojo the dog-faced boy. That's one. Perfect little indentation of his fist. All right.
Kind of what in JJ's film they do that when they get
When they
Spock
get
so
mad, yeah, they
roiled
get
up.
him riled
when he
up,
gets
yeah.
angry.
Right,
he's-
Nicole?
Right?
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
You
pointing
knew
at
that.
By the way,
You knew that.
Spock was the ear guy.
Okay, here we go. Next question.
Okay. Harry Mudd returned in a sequel to his first season episode, Mudd's Women. What was that episode called?
I am Harry Mudd.
Thinking about it, that was a season 3 Mudd Sisters, so he probably came back again. So Harry Mudd would have been his second appearance, so technically...
Are we giving Tom a point?
Yeah,
I'm
Tom.
A point! We have a point!
My bad. That was my bad.
I should have gone on the internet and picked them up.
What are you doing afterwards?
The rest of their lives.
Nicole, would you go get us a couple of gin and tonic? They took the pilot and put them in two carbons.
Oh, dear. Now, weirdly, given how interested we've seen you are, Nicole is now in a huge science fiction film. Yeah, you are. Men in Black 3. You are.
Black 3?
Yes.
Fabulous.
I know.
Are you a monster? Are you an agent? What are you?
She plays a lion. That'd be so cruel.
You play you play the stinky lion.
From the planet Fabrice.
It's pretty cool. I
You
get
got a
to-
cool outfit that you're
It's
wearing?
a pretty badass outfit. It's a lot of leather, and I do get to rock a rocket launcher.
Sorry, what are you doing afterwards?
I just lost the cool competition. That's the coolest thing I've ever
It's pretty
heard.
cool.
That is very cool.
I ride a scooter in a goofy helmet. It's as close as I can get to it here.
Men in Black 3 was my first movie, so it was the first time that I had to. I don't think you all realize this. I've never realized this, but you know how when the camera's in front of you and you're acting, you're in the moment. It was the first time I had to act to 3 pieces of tape.
Yeah.
And I got very confused who I was talking to. And the tape is literally, they're like, this is guard 1, this is guard 2, and that's the villain. And they're all like literally this far apart, and you're trying to like not get cross-eyed, right? It was really confusing, and then try to like really be in the moment, and you're like, oh, I've got to give it my all right now. I'm living, I'm here,
we have a really
I'm
hard
cross-eyed.
job.
Yeah,
It's really-
you know, I find that not everybody can do it. You know, it's not all autographs and sunglasses. You keep it up, you'll be able to keep those tapes separate anyway. You're gonna get it. Am I wrong? No, you'll figure it out. You're a talented young lady, you're going far.
And Simon, with zombie films like Shaun of the Dead, where does that is that in the horror genre or the science fiction genre?
It's horror, yeah. I mean, it's very much a horror film.
In America, we were confused by this poster. Do you know why?
Oh, really? Why?
Why? Well, Americans don't know what a cricket bat
Oh,
is.
yes, yeah.
And you were saying, why is that guy attacking zombies with a pizza? What is that about? We did
So
not
many people
know.
say, they call it a cricket paddle, which is always weird
Yeah.
in America.
And given that, you know, it's a low-budget British film, and yet the excitement, because you did end up with your own action figure.
Wow.
No, it's a really cool one, too. Now,
Yeah.
I think, is it on now? I think it's on.
That actually
Does it
looks
do
like
something?
you.
Yeah.
If you get cornered, bash him in the head. That seems to work.
Is that you?
Yes, it is.
Obviously
That's
you.
That's straight from the film.
These
Yeah,
are-
yeah.
Because we were having some debate in the office, because we have a Woody doll. Right?
Ah.
Now, is this... You listen to this.
Ha ha! Boy, am I glad to see you.
Is that you?
No, it's my brother Jim.
Is it really? That's so weird, 'cause we were on the internet, somebody said that, and we kind of, oh, that just sounds like a load of old rubbish.
No, it's my brother Jim. They have so many...
There's a snake in my boot.
There's a snake in my boot. There are so many computer games and video things, and Jim he works on those all year long. And they said, you don't want to do this. He said, no, get my brother Jim, you know, he'll do it. So that's my brother Jim.
I genuinely thought that was an urban myth, but it
No,
really...
it's
it
true.
really- okay.
Absolutely true.
And animation films, I would think, well, that sounds easy. But then I read it's really hard work for you, anyway.
Well, it's fun work because the people are great, but it is very, very hard. Particularly Woody, because Woody is always like yelling, and he's always, you know, he's always doing that. And the way it works, they start working on it, and it takes about 4 years for them to start animating it and get to the final product. So about every 6 months, you go into a recording studio. But you face the booth. The screen is behind you. It's because it's on the lots. And you face the booth. And in the booth are these heads that look like judges at the Olympics, you know? They're just back, and they're in a soundproof, you can't hear them, but they can hear every word you say. So you got a scene where you have to say something like, you're standing, And you have to do 18 variations of something like this. Buzz, if we don't get back there, I'm gonna go absolutely bizarre! That's what you have to do. And you do it every kind of way you possibly can until your diaphragm is busted, your throat is raw, you spit all over the copy, and it's your 4th hour of doing this. And when you go, yeah, we're gonna go bizarre! And then you look at the people in the booth, and they're all going... And they almost press the talk back that they could talk. They go. Hey, Tom, that was great.
We did try, by the way, Nicole, to get... there were some dolls of the Pussycat Dolls, and we thought, oh, we'll get them in.
Yeah.
But they were withdrawn
Yes.
because they were unsuitable for children.
Why didn't they just sell them somewhere else? They would have gone like hotcakes. Come on.
Come on.
Now, you are very shortly going to be performing your new single, right there, from first solo album,
Yes.
Killer Love. And is it lovely being solo now?
I miss the girls, obviously, because we were kind of like this whole girl gang, this force to be reckoned with when we were on stage together. But I grew up on the stage, and I love it, so I'm having a great time.
And I say solo, but actually on this track, I mean, 50 Cent isn't here tonight, is he? You'd have told us. So he's on the track.
No, but Tom Hankson.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm calling 50, not 50.
Yeah, I call him 50, but everyone over here calls him Fitty with the 2 Ds.
Most of us who know him call him Fitty, but... No, but I think because certain Americanisms sound really weird in a British accent, like in the same way
50.
that... Yeah, 50. Hello, 50. It just...
So they say Fitty.
Yeah, because you feel more American, more street. You know?
Wouldn't they call him 50p over here?
Doesn't quite have the same
Doesn't
gangster
really work
call,
out.
does it?
I don't think you're going to like be afraid of a rapper named 50p.
Before you sing, I've got to ask you, what we all want to know is you and Lewis.
Yes.
You and Lewis. Wedding bells?
Well, I'm really proud of us that we've made it for 3 years. Just last week was our anniversary. So.
Well done.
Not too bad. We live on, the opposite sides of the universe, so we've made it work. And there's a picture of us. A couple weeks ago, we went to this movie awards because he has a voiceover part in Cars 2. Speaking of
Hey, there you
animation
go. So
films.
he's worked for Pixar. He knows what I'm talking about. Listen, hey, Lewis, that was
Nicole, it is time for you to sing. So if you'd like to go over and get ready and join your band.
All right.
Off to you. Just get careful.
the band.
Excellent. Very good. Very shortly, we will be hearing this week's stories in the famous red chair. But first, singing right there, it is Nicole Scherzinger. one more time. That was gorgeous. I
Beautiful.
That was the
Magnificent.
dedication to you and Wilson.
Oh, man, I love that.
know. That was steamy. Yes. Steamy in a good way.
It's a beautiful love song, Graham.
Don't wash your mouth. That's a great lyric, isn't it? Don't wash your mouth out. I like it dirty. Right, before we go tonight, just time for some more stories in the red chair. So, who's up first? Hello, nice lady.
Hello.
Oh, what's your name?
To Larry.
That's a Vulcan name. That's a Vulcan
Is it a Vulcan name?
Yeah.
Is it really?
It is a Vulcan name.
Is it really? I look to you.
I say yes.
Okay. Is it a Vulcan name?
It's Welsh.
Oh, my Lord.
I should have trusted my first instinct.
Did you just flip that lady off that chair? I give up, man.
Three of you have done very well tonight.
All right.
Okay, one more. Oh, hello. What's your name?
My name's Andy.
It's Andy. Andy. It's Andy. And what do you do, Andy?
I'm a student nurse.
He's a student nurse. Yay! Nothing, Andy. A student nurse. All right, off you go with the story.
Right, okay. So I was on a night out with some friends, and I went to this nightclub, and I was a bit tipsy, saw a podium, thought, well, I'll have a bit of that. So anyhow, I get up on this podium, I'm dancing around, and I notice this wire hanging down from the ceiling. So I thought, aye, I'll incorporate this into my little dance routine. So anyhow, not realising it was actually a live wire, at one point, the wire comes into contact with my tongue stud. I electrocute myself. Blue sparks come out of my mouth. Blow a fuse. The whole lights go out in the club, and all the music just goes. Wow.
Well done, everybody. If you'd like to join us on the show and have a go with the red chair, you can. Just contact us via our website at this address. Thank you so much to my guests tonight, Nicole Scherzinger, Simon Craig, and Mr. Tom Hanks. Join me next week with comedian Kathy Griffin, Wild Man Bear Grylls, and Hollywood star Cameron Diaz. I'll see you then. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Shia LaBeouf is a bad boy who's about to get payback in our thriller Disturbia. That's at 11:30 after those all-important lottery numbers.